Welcome to Face Up Damage. I'm your host Jason, and on the second episode, I will preview the Star Trek attack wing USS Equinox. And looking at the first card of the previews is the USS Equinox card. It's the named ship for the Nova class Federation ship. For its stats, it has 2 attack, 2 agility, 3 hull, and 3 shields. On its upgrade bar, it has a tech slot, a weapon slot, and 2 crew slots. For its action bar, it has the evade token, target lock, scan, and battle stations. And for the action for the USS Equinox action, you can disable one of your active shields, and then during the end phase of this round, you can repair all of your damaged shields. It's a cost of 20, and the Nova class is will be 18 points, and the only difference is it has a shield stat of 2 instead of 3, and it doesn't have the action. This has almost the exact same stats as the USS Reliant. So if you were running USS Reliance as missile boats, this is probably something you're going to upgrade to. Especially, this is all speculation, but it's a newer ship, so I'm wondering if it's going to have a come about like the Defiant. But I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't and it just had an astern like the Reliant. But that would be... I think this is going to be, you're going to see these used more than the Reliance if you're going to run missile boats in your fleet. The action, disabling one of your shields, so you're down to 2 shields, so you're possibly, like against the Klingons, like a Vorcha or a Negvar that's throwing 5 attack dice at you. And it's entirely possible to get popped with this, even with the 2 evade, if you're rolling bad. Because you've got to remember, on defensive dice there are 3 blanks, and on attack dice there are only 2 blanks. So otherwise, it's a nice little fed ship. I don't know if I will be using it as much. I've kicked around the idea of using missile boats, but I'm kind of reluctant to do that. I haven't seen anybody successfully use them in tournament play yet, so with this expansion, you may see something like that. You may see some more builds like that. The next card from this expansion is a captain card. It's a Rudolph Ransom. He is a 4 captain skill at a cost of 2, and his ability is when defending, if there's a evade token beside your ship, roll +2 defense dice. Now on the Equinox, if you're thinking about running missile boats or a missile boat, this may be a good captain to put on there, because the Equinox is already rolling 2 agility. With him, if you throw an evade down, you have 4 evade die you're rolling, plus the evade token that you have to cancel out a damage. So for 2 points at a level of 4, it's not a bad captain, and for the Equinox, it's a very good fit. This card, coupled with other captain cards or other ships as well, you may see this card get some play with with people that like to play defensively. The next card is another captain card, Maxwell Burke. It's a captain skill of 2 with a cost at 1, and his ability is action, discard this card to gain +2 dice this round. For a cost of 1 to get 2 attack die, it might be worth taking. If you're especially on alpha strikes, it might be a card you want to take. Once again, I don't know if this will get used a lot because it is an action to do that. It's one-time use, and you would be losing your captain, and your ship card would be your ship would go from a 2 to a 1. You're not losing much, but still. So I can't wait to see this in play, see if people actually use it. And moving along, the next card that we're looking at is a crew card, Marla Gilmore. Like I said, it's a crew card, and it's a cost of 2. And her ability is action. If your ship is not cloaked, disable all of your remaining shields and target a ship at range 1 to 2 that is not cloaked and have no active shields. Disable this card and 1 tech upgrade of your choice on the target ship. You may then use that upgrade's action, if any, as a free action this round. These cards are usually late game cards, and it's a pretty potentially powerful card for a cost of 2, but as it stands, there are not, that I've seen in tournaments, there are not that many people that run non-cloaked fleets, and no active shields, which means you would have to have taken their shields down, which sometimes is kind of hard to do. This will be good against Dominion and Federation players. To me, I don't. Disabling this card and another one, you get a free action. I don't know if this will get a lot of play. It's a potentially good card, but from what I've seen in the tournaments so far, lots of people, you've got either 2 fleets with lots of upgrade potential that they have, or 2 ship builds with lots of upgrades, or very stripped down 3 to 4 ship fleets. Now, I've seen more of the 3 to 4 ship fleets than I've seen of the 2s. People like throwing dice and having more targets and more attacks coming at you at the cost of not having a lot of upgrades. So although this is potentially a good card, I don't think you're going to see this in tournament play. The next card we're looking at from this expansion is Noah Lessing. It's a crew upgrade card at a cost of 2. And his ability is action, disable this card and any one of your tech upgrades to target a ship at range 1 to 2. Disable one of the target ship's active shields. This is a card that I don't see getting any use. In a game where action economy is very important, and disabling him and another upgrade, which you're going to enable to use your tech upgrade again, you'll have to spend action to get it back again. Just to disable one of the target's active shields, I don't like this card. I personally, other players may use it. From what I've seen in the game so far, I don't think this is a card that you're going to see people playing. The next card we'll be looking at is the Navigation Deflector. It's a tech slot card. It's a tech upgrade, and it costs 5 points. And its ability is, when taking damage, you may discard this card to cancel 1 hit result. The second part of this is, if the damage is from a minefield or an obstacle, disable this card instead of discarding it. If you disable this card, you may roll defense dice against obstacles or minefields. Now, looking at this card, if you just looked at the first part, you're just like, this is not worth five points. It's the second half of this that makes this card worth the 5 points. As most of you most everybody knows when they go against cloaked mines or antimatter mines, they roll no defensive dice, and those can be devastating attacks if you happen to, especially if they're able to drop antimatter mines on top of you. Being able to roll defensive dice against it, that helps a lot. So this is the counter to cloaked mines and antimatter mines. So this, you may see more of this card played actually on cloaked ships like the Klingons and the Romulans. Now you may ask why I'm saying that instead of why you would see it. Why would you see it more on those than you would on a Federation or Dominion? The reason why I say that is generally critical damage on cloaked ships devastates them early on because their shields are down and they're taking hull damage right off. So any face-up damage they get can hinder them right off the bat. So if you're able to get a minefield attack off onto a cloaked ship that can't roll any defense dice against it, that is huge, absolutely huge. I've run a couple fleet builds where I used the antimatter mines very effectively against other cloaked ships, and they did not see it coming. And it's a good counter for the ability to throw 4 additional defense dice against attacks. The next card is the weapon card that's included in this expansion. It's Photon Torpedoes. This is the same Photon Torpedo card that came out with the starter set and in the Defiant expansion. It's an attack of 5 at range 2 to 3. Attack, target lock, spend your target lock, and disable this card to perform this attack. You may convert one of your battle stations and results into a critical result. You may fire this weapon from your forward or rear firing arcs. Like I said, it's a weapon upgrade, and at 5 points. It's the same as some of the other cards you've seen. Nothing new with this. It's exactly the same. I should mention, though, that if you're looking for a missile bolt platform, this card on the Equinox would be devastating. You've got a little ship that I'm guessing is going to be a little nimbler than some of the other Fed ships, that's able to throw 5 attack die at an opponent. If you could get some other upgrades that could maybe keep this from having to spend a target lock, I think there are. I could be wrong. I'm kind of blanking at the moment, but this coupled on the Equinox could make it a very, very heavy hitter, and a spoiler to people's fleets. And last but very not least is a new card that hasn't come up yet. It's the emergency medical hologram. And what I say is we haven't seen a card like this before is because in the area where it says what kind of upgrade it is, it's got a question mark. And it costs 2 points. And the reason why is because of its ability. This upgrade counts as either a crew upgrade or a tech upgrade, your choice. When you use a tech upgrade that requires you to disable it, you may disable this card instead of that upgrade. So right there, you could put this on the Equinox as a crew card and, for example, disable the navigational deflector instead, or disable this instead of your navigational deflector and possibly use that ability twice. So for a 2 cost and the ability to put it in a tech or crew slot depending on where you need it at, I think this is a card that that's gonna see a lot of play in the months to come in the organized play events that Wizkids has. this is a very interesting card, and I can't wait to get my hands on it and try play testing it a bit. Well, that's been the preview for the Star Trek Attack Wing USS Equinox from the third wave of the Star Trek Attack Wing game. I want to thank you for watching Face Up Damage. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed the video. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at Face Up Damage. Have a good night.